you believe me now? Ooh, yeah. But now you see the light.
Well, many country artists sing about hard times, but not many know hard times like singer Jimmy Wayne.
That's for sure. I sat down with Jimmy and talked about his very tough path in life and the way he grew up, a path that actually led him, though, to having top 10 songs on Billboard's country charts, and also led him to writing a new and very touching book called Paper Angels. From the screaming crowds in sold-out arenas to the flashing lights of the red carpet, Jimmy Wayne is leading the life of country royalty. You would never know he was once homeless and hungry and alone.
As a foster kid, I went in the foster care system when I was 7 years old. I was in and out throughout my childhood and just moved around quite a bit. Was in 12 schools in 2 years. I mean, I talk about living on the street. I talk about being raised on welfare cheese and food stamps, and I talk about all that stuff.
He's talking about it in a new novel called Paper Angels, loosely based on Jimmy's own childhood.
The Salvation Army has a tree in a mall, if you will, has the paper angels hanging from it. People can go up and pull an angel off the tree and sponsor a kid. My sister and I were recipients of that program when we were children.
Jimmy says he survived off the kindness of strangers, especially during the holidays. This year, nearly 500,000 kids will wake up in foster care on Christmas morning. While half of them will eventually be reunited with a parent, half will not. And 30,000 foster kids will age out of the system, left with no help and no family. That's what happened to Jimmy until a couple who hired him to mow their lawn opened up their home and their hearts.
They took a kid in with long hair and tattoos, and I was living outside on the street, and they gave me a home. And I stayed there 6 years in their home and went to college. And I mean, the only thing I had to do was cut my hair and go to church. And it's just like, I followed those simple little rules, and now look where I'm at. I mean, just because that family took a chance on me.
Jimmy hopes his book inspires you to take a chance on another child.
And it's really hard to look at them and say things are going to be okay, because in my mind I know that that's probably not the truth, because if someone does not intervene in their life, it's not going to be okay. So it's not the kids that I would want to talk to, it's the adults.
It's a message he took to the streets last year, walking halfway across the country for his awareness campaign called Meet Me Halfway.
I made it July 31st, 2010.
Jimmy says because he made it, he's dedicated his life to helping other kids make it too.
Being given this gift to be able to stand on stage at the Madison Square Garden or wherever and sing, but being able to be that role model for those kids out there going through what I went through. And I'm doing all I can in my career to bring some awareness to it. When I go in my house, sometimes I literally stand in the foyer and just look around, and I can't believe it. I mean, because there was a time I was living outside, and I mean, I didn't have a roof, I didn't have a wall, I didn't have anywhere to put my picture. You know, I didn't have a washing machine. I mean, things we take for granted.
Paper angels, you're in my thoughts and prayers.
It made me determined. It made me also want to give back, because I know what it's like to be in the system, and I know what it's like growing up like that. I hope that when people read this book, Paper Angels, I hope that first of all they'll be inspired to give, to regardless of their own situation, is to give, and especially to help out a kid out there who needs their help. Make that kid's Christmas. Such a great life story and life lessons there. A humble guy, nice guy.
He wears
not to
his
mention,
heart on his sleeve.
Totally,
You can see that.
and incredibly talented. But that stat about 30,000 foster kids aging out of the system, you wouldn't believe the numbers in terms of how many end up incarcerated, how many never go back to school.
Oh, sure.
It's heartbreaking. So listen to Jimmy's advice, take something out of that story, and help some kids out
help
the holidays. Absolutely.
Yeah.